Welcome back to It's Not a Sport. Welcome back to It's Not a Sport. A lot of interesting things happened over this weekend. First starting with PAX West. Finished up. We got to see a lot of kind of stuff that we already saw. There's a new Anthem trailer for the game that EA is making by BioWare. Also some conclusions of some tournaments. Fortnite Summer Skirmishes Grand Finals happened at PAX. And Riot Games was also under some fire under some gender issues with some events that they were running. In terms of esports, however, in the NALCS, Cloud9 beat TSM 3-2, sending TSM to the third place bracket, and Team Liquid beat 100 Thieves, sending 100 Thieves to the third place bracket. So next week in the grand finals, Cloud9 and Team Liquid, my bad. Cloud9 Team Liquid will fight for Summer Playoffs champion, and TSM and 100 Thieves will fight for third place. In the Overwatch World Cup, there are 4 brackets for the top 24, and then they'll move over to top 8, which will be at BlizzCon, and that will be playoffs. In the South Korea bracket, South Korea is first, followed by Finland, and then Russia. In the United States bracket, it's Canada, Austria, and the United States of America. In the Thailand bracket, it's China, Australia, and then Sweden. In the France bracket, it's United Kingdoms, Poland, and then Italy. We have a good show for you this week. I want to talk about pre-orders and releases and DLC and just kind of the problem with it and why they're not really necessary anymore. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so let's talk about pre-orders and why they're kind of, I want to say not necessary, but they're kind of baitish in a way. Imagine you're basically a pre-order. So if you don't know what it is that you're buying the game before it's announced, or before, not even, maybe before it's announced, but usually it's announced, and then you're buying the game before it's released. So you generally pre-ordering something and you don't know exactly what you're gonna get. It's like spending $100 for a box, but you don't know what's inside the box. However, what you do know is that if you pre-order this box, you will get special things, and the keyword is kind of special, that nobody else will have. That's kind of how it used to be. And it used to be that you knew when you pre-ordered something, you would get these items, and then you would be the only one to have these items. And you also knew that, like, the game would be, solid. But as time went on, and microtransactions came into the mix, we started not calling DLCs and started more calling them expansions. Started having season passes, things like that. As time went on, pre-ordering became kind of obsolete to now that we're at a point where it's a mistake to pre-order something, in my belief. My most recent probably experience with this would be No Man's Sky. A lot of people found disappointment in No Man's Sky. Yes, it's in a better state now, and they fixed it 2 years after its release, I believe. But it still had a terrible, launch. I bought into No Man's Sky, thinking, oh, this is going to be a fun, nice, casual game. You know, wasn't really expecting all that, that we saw at the E3 cutscenes. I just thought it would be a nice little fun game with, lots of space, sci-fi, aspects. I can just explore space. It was that, but it wasn't all people and I were hoping for. The key point here is that I pre-ordered it hoping that it would be that. Instead, I opened the box and got something entirely different. The same goes with the biggest release for today, actually. Destiny 2 Forsaken is released today. And I was a huge fan of Destiny 1 Vanilla. I actually enjoyed Vanilla Destiny 1. It wasn't bad. Yes, it was tough. It was, they had a lot of problems, but it was tough. And with every expansion, the game got bigger and grew a little bit. And then we finally got to the Taken King, and that's, when the game lifted off. So then when they announced Destiny 2, I put my trust in Bungie, hoping that they would continue that momentum. So, of course, I pre-ordered it. But I pre-ordered, and now what they do is that they used to just have, $60, you just pre-order the game. But now you pre-order the Legendary Edition, and the Special Edition, and the Super Super Legendary Special Edition, which will come with, the DLC Season Pass now. And, X, Y, and Z as well, and maybe, some other shit that doesn't really matter. So, I pre-ordered it, paid the $100 for the game, the Season Pass, and even the extra emote stuff, which I don't even remember what it was. And it came out, and Destiny 2 was a letdown. Then, after that, Osiris came out. That was a huge disappointment. And then Warmind came out, and that breathed life back into it, but it still wasn't, what it should have been. Now, a year later, Forsaken's released, and I'm not pre-ordering it. Why? Because they've lost the trust. And that's kind of the problem with pre-ordering, is that you don't know what you're going to get. It's obsolete. And what makes it even more obsolete is that the exclusive rewards that you get for pre-ordering the game, again, I'll take Destiny 2 as example. If you pre-ordered Destiny 2, you got the Cold Heart. Fantastic weapon. Thing is, you can still get the Cold Heart in-game right now. It's just not guaranteed. If you pre-ordered it, it would just give it to you, guaranteed. But now in the game, the Cold Heart's a drop. This goes for pretty much every pre-order bonus nowadays. Is that those items can be bought with real money or earned in-game. Basically, devaluing those items and devaluing the pre-orders. I'm not saying that you should have, exclusive stuff like the weapon, the Cold Heart, obviously could not have been an exclusive pre-order. Because it means that unless you bought the game, you could have never gotten it again. Maybe if they did that for a cool legendary weapon, that would be cool. But it's not, that's not fair to the majority of the player base. They could have done is an emote that you couldn't have got, or something like that. And that's kind of the problem with pre-orders, is that now they're just used as bait. They're just used as a way for companies to boost sales, to already, have what they need from you. And I think that the best way for us to kind of stop this process is to kind of stop pre-ordering. You're giving somebody your money, before you even know what it is. That's kind of one aspect of the problem. The other aspect then goes into the season pass. Season passes are great, actually. I really think that they're cool ideas when done right. I think a good example of this is Borderlands 2 Season Pass. If you own the Borderlands 2 Season Pass, now, it came with so much stuff, and so many, both the DLCs and so many like small kind of DLCs, and you save money by doing it. Alright? Same with, I think, the Call of Duty Black Ops 4 Season Pass. Now, if you spend a Season Pass, if you spend it buy the Season Pass for Call of Duty, not Black Ops 4, my bad, Black Ops 3, you get all the zombie stuff, and you get all that, and you save money. In the long run, Season Pass is a good idea, because it allows people to save money and know what they're getting. Short term, it's awful. It's the same exact realm as pre-ordering. If you buy the season pass before you even know what the expansions are, you end up in the same place that I ended up with Destiny 2, where I got Curse of Osiris, which was, was not worth whatever amount that DLC came out, and then Warmind, which was a step up, yes, but still, it didn't really satisfy all the desires. That's the problem with season passes, is that they still bring you into that illusion of thinking, this is going to be good, I have to buy this. Destiny 2 is also doing the same thing now, where if you buy Forsaken, there's now an annual pass, which is the same thing as a season pass, for Forsaken, which is another $40 on top of that. So this also now becomes the illusionary scam, same with pre-orders, where you don't exactly know what you're going to get, and you know that, you don't know if it's going to be good, you don't know if it'll be bad, and you don't know in the long run that it will be good and you'll save money, or in short term, you'll just lose it and be disappointed. This kind of changes with Fortnite's Battle Pass, and I'll tell you that Fortnite's Battle Pass introduces it's different, yes. It's different that you're not paying for an expansion. You're paying for, loot. But it changes up the game where it's cheap, it's affordable, it's only like $10. You know the loot you're getting. It's exclusive loot that you can only get, at that time for cheap or whatever. Maybe they'll release it again, like the Red Knights again. But you know that you can get it. And you know exactly what you'll be getting. In terms of games that require you to earn loot, like Overwatch, Fortnite, the Battle Pass idea is it's a very good idea, because you also then make your money back, where if you choose, you can either spend that on cosmetics in the shop, or buy the Battle Pass back. The Battle Pass changes up a lot of things, where it takes away that illusion and, puts more faith with us as consumers into the company, and it also allows, them to produce better quality and better quality content without being rushed, without, kind of finding a way to scam us. The other aspect of kind of DLC is that how DLC used to be is that, you bought the game $60. Then the DLC came out for 20, 15 bucks. You bought that. And then another one came out for 20, 15 bucks, and then you bought that. And then eventually they came up with the idea of the annual or season pass or whatever the hell they call it. If you look at MMOs, World of Warcraft just had their expansion. $60 for that expansion. Why am I, as a consumer, willing to pay $60 for that? Because it's not as if with WoW, it's with those expansions, you're not buying the unknown, really. You're buying a part of the unknown, but you're buying the entire game. You're basically buying another game within the game, and that's why they can charge that amount of money, because it's going to be massive, it's going to be huge, and it's basically a new game to the game, and it's also going to continue to fund future updates for that expansion into the game. Yes, you can pre-order it, and with WoW, it's actually kind of, I want to say worthwhile. With worthwhile, if you pre-order it, you get a mount, I believe. You got a mount. You got, I think, a couple, like, cosmetic items, too, which is, you know, the usual. It's cool. But the one thing that's in there is a level up. A level booster. That's guaranteed, and you know that you're going to get that, and you know that it's useful for you to get it, so that you can boost a character. If you're a new player, and you don't want to level 1 to 120, which is ridiculous, to be honest, you can boost it, and you can join in on the fun. Also, Blizzard with World of Warcraft has such a good track record already. Well, you know, semi-good track record, that, you know that you're guaranteed that you're gonna get, you know, your money's worth. Another great example of MMO expansion is Guild Wars 2. When Guild Wars 2 Heart of Thorns, which was their first expansion for the game, was being released, every week they showed us what we were going to get. They showed us the new specializations for each class. They showed us, you know, the world design. They showed us music. They showed us art. They showed us every kind of bits and pieces of what we were going to get. And when that expansion dropped, it was, you know, it was fantastic, because we got all those bits and pieces, but we also got more, and we got to discover more. We got to discover, you know, all the secrets that were lying throughout the world, the new items, the new, you know, crafting systems, and the guild halls, and just all those tiny things that even they didn't show us just added up and just made it more worthwhile. Also, the rewards for pre-ordering the expansion were just, you know, something to not to give, you know, they weren't exclusive rewards or anything like that. They were just things to give players an edge and make life more easier. Just like the level booster with World of Warcraft, we got a character slot. So people who pre-ordered it got a new character slot for the new class. Yes, there were some exclusive things, like I believe there's an exclusive glider, but, you know, at the end of the day, that doesn't, it's the, you know, same old, same old. But it was still, you know, there was no illusion behind it. You know, I was proud to spend that $60, and even today, it doesn't, I'm not regretting to spend that money. The thing is that, like, I spend the money to support the game. That's always my, you know, philosophy when it comes behind this, especially when it comes to long-term projects like Destiny 2, League of Legends, Overwatch, World of Warcraft, Fortnite. I spend money to support those games. The problem is that I also want to know what I'm getting. And when you don't know what you're getting and you lose that illusion and you do it multiple times to where you lose the trust, it just becomes it's a hassle. And I don't think this is a byproduct of developers wanting to do this. I think the developers come into when things are unfinished, when things are, reused, when things are rushed. I feel that that was the case with No Man's Sky, for instance. No Man's Sky was rushed, and that's why we didn't get things that we wanted. Destiny 2, I wouldn't be surprised if these last 2 expansions were already in the works when the game was, being released. Or something, it felt rushed. And the reason that it's being rushed is because, they have to pump that content out as fast as possible so people can get it. And then money issues with the publisher. The publisher wants, to make money as fast as possible. Or, they want to confirm that. And make, boost their sales for advertisement, etc., etc. It's just business at the end of the day. Do it as fast as possible. And that's why, these things can't be rushed. And that goes for both parties, for both the producers who, and, publishers who make the game, and the consumers who buy the game. You can't rush to pre-order the game, and you can't rush to make the game. Otherwise, we end up in this situation where then the content is bad, and we as consumers do not trust the content creator. This is why when Kingdom Hearts got delayed again, Kingdom Hearts 3 just got delayed again, I'm not mad about it, because as long as they're not rushing it, I know they're going to make a good game. It's the same thing with Final Fantasy 15 got delayed and remade for 10 years. And, finally it was released, and it was a good game. It was a good game. And they continued to support that game, even though it's being a story game. A couple months back, it got a full PC version with mod support and tons of new DLC for you to explore, and they still support it, even though they don't have to support it. The team could have moved on and done something else, but it wasn't it wasn't rushed. And at the end of the day, when I bought it, I knew what I was getting, and I knew that it was gonna be good. This is Salty Waffles. Thank you for listening. Thanks for watching It's Not a Sport. Check out the links in the description where you can find everything and all sources of It's Not a Sport. Also check out the stream where you can find some quality content. This is Salty Waffles signing off, and tune in next week for another great episode.